Hi, I'm Lisa Greenfield with Truth in Hand, and it's Daily Tarot time. This is the week of May 8th through the 21st. We have Saturn and Uranus lining up to give us some really interesting new directional help. And we'll dive into that in just a moment. I did want to let you know, if you haven't visited me before, TruthinHand.com. This is where my love of tarot, astrology, and the always fascinating map of you are all come together to give you some of my favorite insights. There's even a free sample online reading if you go and sign up for the newsletter. All right, ready for the week? We've got the Two of Stones as our card of the week. Now, that is so appropriate because in the Wildwood Tarot, they see it as kind of boxing for who's battling for supremacy. Now, Saturn and Uranus are actually in a supportive trine this week, but there's still that tension between the old and the new. And it's interesting because the cards this week, you've got a major arcana card, then a smaller card, then a major arcana card, then a smaller card. So we've kind of got this motion of like back and forth, up and down. And we're going to see that carry us through the week as a way to help us integrate some of these changes that we've been experiencing, thinking, feeling, and putting it on a firm foundation, actions-wise, in a way that's sustainable. All right? And we start off on Monday with the Moon on the Lake, which is the perfect card with the aspects today because we have Moon and Pluto. Actually, first we start with Moon and Juno, which is our old stories about relationships and inequalities in relationship, and where we've made sacrifices that don't feel good, a devil's bargain, if you will. And then with the Moon Pluto, it's where we dive deep and really bring up those old stories to let them go, to remember that what makes them the same is if we insist on reinterpreting information the same way. So if you want to know what's different, even if circumstances look similar in whatever you're doing, you make it different with every choice to reinterpret how you act, all right? And that's going to be rewarded on Tuesday because we have the Nine of Vessels. Sweet. Now, nines are always a teaching number. The Nine of Vessels is the wish come true card. It means make a heart wish, and within 9 months, you actually receive that wish. So, and with the moon is actually square Mercury today. So what that tells me is what was brought up yesterday, some of those old stories, Mercury is an adjustment. Squares are always an adjustment in how we see and say things. Moon square Mercury. So we have to adjust how we interpret old information and really move forward with that. And the Sun is quincunx Saturn, which is sometimes it helps and sometimes it's a little restrictive. So it's all about learning to break in a new pair of shoes, if you will. All right. And then we move into Wednesday and we've got the Hooded Man. Now, the aspects today with the moon sextile Venus, it's interesting because that usually is more of a social aspect, but then here's the hooded man, the individual. So again, we've got that contrast being served up. Where are you strong enough in yourself to share yourself with others? All right? So it is, when we trust ourselves as an individual, you can relax and let down and enjoy other people without feeling either overwhelmed or overtaken by new ideas, situations, conflicts that come up that, you have to say no to, things that don't work as well as the things that do. So you're really going to get a chance with Moon Jupiter. You're going to get chances to experience that today. And you can always pull back to that place within you that you're taking care of your feelings and you've got your backbone, so you can handle whatever comes your way and feel good about it. All right, we move into Thursday, and this is the second 9 in a row. We've got the Nine of Bows, and that is always contentment. Cooperation brings a happy ending, which is interesting because the 2 nines sandwich that hooded man. So it goes back to and today's aspect with Sun and Chiron. In easy aspect, it really helps you understand that you're strong enough as an individual. You're taking care of yourself enough to be able to risk more, to risk in new ways, to have resilience. All right, that's the real gift of that Nine of Bows. That's, mental discipline. So it's like, you got this, you can handle it. And it's practice, practice, practice. And then we move in on Friday to the Sun. Hello. the most positive card in the entire tarot. And that's, today we've got Mars and Pluto are quincunx. Now a quincunx is it's basically 120 degrees. So I'm sorry, 150 degrees. So what you're doing is sometimes it has the ease of that trine that's 120, and sometimes it has that tension of the opposition, 180. So that quincunx is this, with the sun, it's all about understanding how to move through some of these situations that they don't feel wrong, but they don't quite feel right yet. Trust yourself. The Taurus sun is aspecting the nodes. So this is part of your destiny. All right, this is part of you really being more you, bringing more of you to anything and everything that you do, and learning to get comfortable, even if it's sometimes just learning to tolerate your discomfort as you stretch into those new places. And then we move into Saturday, and we've got the 10 of Arrows. Now, I love the Wildwood Tarot because in this deck, they call it instruction. In most tarot decks, it's destruction. So it's the place where things end. It's the end of hopes. It's the end of, in some cases, life. It's the dashing of dreams. It's that place where it just doesn't turn out the way that you hoped it would. It's done. But this is about an old chapter in your life. Any place where you saw structure or authority as something that was working against you, or where you gave it too much power and it was the only thing that protected you, is done. There's a freedom that comes with the letting go, the death of needing too much outside security or resisting too much outside security, because you've got what you need within you. All right, you're doing the mothering, the nurturing of yourself when things are not easy, when you're hurting. Then from that place of comfort, you've got your backbone and you can step up and say what you need. Strength, all right? So you don't need mom and dad anymore. You've got them internalized. And from there, a whole lot of world opens up. And we move into Sunday, and we've got a sweet, easy aspect. We've got the Page of Vessels. Now, the pages are always these inner children in us, the inner states of being, and vessels are our emotions. So this is a very sweet place of just receiving, because vessels are always the receptive, receiving good information or happy news or something that really validates that you're doing a good job, that you've come through some bumpy, rough times, and you're doing a good job being all of you, being much more of you if you're not quite at all of you yet, but taking care of yourself, and from that place, bringing in more possibilities of where you want to play, where you want to work, where you want to risk, because you can do this. All right? So, there's your week. I'm Lisa Greenfield with Truth in Hand. I look forward to talking to you next week, and again, visit me at TruthinHand.com if you'd like more. Thanks. Bye.